Excuse me, miss, well, what's your name? Where are you from? And can I come? And possibly, can I take you out tonight? To the movies, to the park. I have you home before it's dark, so let me know. Can I take you out tonight? What's up? My name is Ty. I'm here to review season 5, episode 3 of The Oval. What's up, y'all? I'm so corny, I know. What's up, y'all? This is Ty. I'm here to review season 5, episode 3 of Tyler Perry's soap opera comedy drama, The Oval. And tonight's episode is titled Man Down. And I'm dedicating that song to Crazy Jason and the Rakadooshie Man River, because it seemed like it was a whole lot of flirtation going on from the Rakadooshie dude named River. And one of y'all told me his name was River. I don't know, but that's what y'all told me. But anyway, episode is called Man Down. Happy Halloween. I hope you enjoyed yourself. Before I get into this video, let me give a shout out to my lovely subscribers. I'm talking about folks like Savannah Rivers, Amore Dupree Jackson, Lamont Simpson, Crystal Lett, your boy Coy, what's up Coy, Miss Tasha, Anthony White, Karima Khadijah, Michael Mina, and the R.C. Kroger. And wait a minute, did I say what did I say, Savannah? Did I mess your name up? It's not Jackson, it's Savannah Rivers Amore. I think, yeah, Savannah Rivers Amore. You know, I apologize. I think, yeah, Savannah Rivers Amore Dupree. I think I said Jackson. Sorry about that. I don't know. I'm thinking of somebody else. Anthony White, I love your comments. Anthony White be breaking it down in the comments. I love everybody's comments, but Anthony be analyzing the show and Tyler Perry's writing style, and it's very funny how he does those breakdowns. So I think that's really funny. So shout outs to him. And all of you are great. I think it was Crystal or somebody. It was either Crystal or Miss Tasha. Hey, Miss Tasha, good to see you again. Who told me that the guy from Rakadooshi's name is River. One of y'all told me, and thank you for that, for saying that. But anyway, we got that out of the way. Thank you for all your comments. Please like, comment, subscribe. And, you know, I like that. Just keep the channel going and growing. I do appreciate y'all. I appreciate the comments, the support, the cash apps that some of y'all do. I do appreciate that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. God bless you. God bless you. Keep this channel going and growing. All right. We got that out the way. Let's get down to this review. Okay. We got Kareem in the hospital still. Dale is there paying him a visit. And in walks Kareem's drug dealing thug cousin. And you know Tyler Perry does thugs so well on his shows. They're always overly aggressive. And, hey, man. So they just don't seem convincing to me. So this guy's doing all his tough macho street thug stuff. And I was like, oh, he's annoying. You better have my stuff, man, and all this other stuff. And he's threatening Dale, and, oh, you pulled that gun out on me in the pharmacy, blah, 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 blah. I was like, dude, shut up. He was irritating me. So anyway, he tells Dale, you come. First of all, he don't have no questions about his cousin. Is he okay? Is he going to live? This, that, and the third. He want to know where the stuff is. Where's my stuff? You know what I'm talking about. And why'd you pull that gun out on me in the pharmacy? Blah, blah, blah. So Dale's like, I don't know what you're talking about. So then he tells him, listen, this is what we're going to do. You coming with me to the pharmacy. Dale says, absolutely not. Then he pulls out the gun, and Dale says, you know, hey, I guess I'm coming with you. You got a gun. But I want to know, is this the same hospital that Miss Nancy is in? Because the security was tight for Miss Nancy. When she started hollering, saying that last week, when she started hollering and saying that Richard was choked out, security came in and grabbed him up. Where's that security? For Dale. Dale should have started hollering. I mean, maybe he's in a different hospital. Maybe it's a different floor. The security ain't over there. I don't know. But poor Dale is kidnapped now. Now we ease on down to Donald and Victoria, who we used to think were all on the same page and on the same side. But Donald was like, something's wrong here. Because when Donald goes down, first of all, why is Donald still in the building when you told him he was fired? I don't understand it. But anyway, he's still in the building. So he goes mosey on down to the dungeon, aka the bunker, to see Simone, but the first lady's like, she's down there. She's like, oh, you're not coming in here. And he said, guess what? Eli fired me. She said, well, get the stepping, girl. And he said, wait a minute, ho. Well, he didn't say that part, but in my head, wait a minute, ho. He said, you down with Eli. So they had their whole back and forth, and he was like, you listen, you better help you have your plan thought out before you cross me. And she's like, girl, she's doing all her usual slur, gay slurs towards him. Oh, girl, honey, child, all that stuff she's saying to him. Get on up out of here. And she told the guy, don't you let him in here. And again, I'm saying all this throwing out of Donald, but yet Donald is still all over this White House. So I don't get that. Then we have some banter between Bobby, Max, and Sam, because Sam put those bullet caps. He bust those bullet caps off into Muscle Man Bobby's chest, so he's sore now. And that hurt. And so he's like, oh, yeah, I see that move you did. And Sam was like, oh, see, I ain't no joke or whatever. And then Sam walks away, and Max and Bobby are having a conversation. And I love how Max was ranking on him and like, listen, you got what you deserve. I told you not to mess with her anyway, and you're only doing this because you ain't over Lillian. Their little back and forth banter was hilarious, and he's absolutely right. And, he's like, she's playing you. You don't playing her. You should have left each other alone. So, and the next time, it might not be in the chest, and the next time, it might be real bullets. And he's right. He's absolutely right about that. Then we saw Max convincing Eli to let him stand guard over Hunter along with Kyle. So that was interesting. Then we mosey on down to Lily and Alonzo. Now, Alonzo's going to Donald's house. Lily has sauntered down the stairs. She looked pretty, by the way. She sauntered down the stairs. What are you doing here? Wait outside. He told her, no. Donald told me I had to come in here and wait here. And I was like, where are all the bodies? Because I guess somebody cleaned up those bodies. And so Lily's trying to ask Alonzo questions, and he's not giving any answers. He still looked nervous or whatever. But then she starts giving him orders, and she's talking to him like, turn around. I said turn around. She told him, turn around, bend over, and stretch it, bend over, and, touch your toes and spread them. And all. Well, she ain't say all that. But basically, she pull up your shirt and bend up. What the hell is all of this? And he did it, and then she said, oh, I know why you're here. You have a nice ass. I was like, oh, this show is crazy. So she's thinking that he's there because he's there for Donald, but that's not like that way. So she said, well, listen, I'm going back upstairs. I'm going to go in the guest bedroom, and you and him can have sex in the main bed where that body used to be. Then she said to him, but another thing, make sure you wear a condom. And I was like, this is madness. This is crazy. Then we back at Donald, still in the White House, still not kicked out for somebody that was told to get out. And he's telling the doctor, you got to revive the president. And he's like, listen, there's something about his kid. The doctor said something about his kidneys, this, that, and the third. He said, well, you got to revive him. He said, give him whatever you need. And I'm like, what is it he telling him? Give him more drugs to wake him up? I don't know. But he was telling him, give him something else that's going to wake him up and get things going. And I'm like, well, what in the hell is that going to be? So that was interesting. Then, let's see what happened. Let's see, did I lose my notes? Oh, what happened? Allan is in the cell. Then we go to Allan. They cut to Allan, and Allan is in jail. And some dude comes in there and starts talking to Allan. And then he's like, oh, the next he's telling Allan, I got to shank you because I was sitting here to do you in because you stole some drugs from us, and these are very important. And I'm totally confused. So I'm like, we don't want you telling our business. Telling your business to who? What are you talking about? We don't want you telling our business. I was confused. I guess you don't want, do y'all really think that Allan is going to be telling anything in the jail? I was like, what's going on? So the guy's telling him, he got to shank him. I'm going to make it nice and easy. They threatened my family. It's not personal, but I got to kill you. Okay, yeah. It's not personal, but I got to kill you. Okay, nice, yeah. So They didn't show any more of that, but I saw in the previews that was still going on. I hope Allan puts up a good fight and beats that dude down. You know, we'll see. So, Donald, back to Donald. Donald's able to finesse his way in. He told that agent, listen, Victoria ain't about you either. I know she told you not to let me up in here, but listen, me and you on the same team, bruh. And listen, what she's going to do, what she's putting down is going to mess both of us up. And you know all the dirty laundry. You going to be one of the first to go, so you better let me in. So he lets him in to talk to Simone. Donald has an interesting conversation with Simone. Simone is saying, I want to speak to my husband. Simone doesn't believe him when he tells her that her husband has now been sworn in as the president. And she's like, I don't believe that. And she's like, he says, well, what were you and Victoria fighting about anyway? She said, oh, we were fighting because she claimed she was sleeping with my husband, this, that, and the third. Then she's going into this whole thing of she's not believing it and she wants to hear from her husband. I'm like, don't be naive, Simone. Your husband has sold you out. He's not who you think he is, and he's leaving you down in that. Come on, you've been down here a long time. So Donald was saying he can make arrangements where he'll be able to get Eli to come down there. The girl ain't even had no water. She down there dying of thirst. It was just crazy right there. But that was a very interesting conversation. And then we move on down to, Lord have mercy, Miss Nancy. And Miss Nancy is flipping the hell out. She trying to do handstands in the bed. She talking about colored birds. And then she said Barry's dead. Then she said something about she wanted some chicken. I'm thinking she wanted some fried chicken from Popeyes or Church's Chicken or something like that. She told me she wanted live chicken so she could give it to Barry, name it Collie, give it to Barry so he could take his mind off his baby. Then she mentioned how she saw his baby and how the Rackadoochies are not. I said, what the hell did they give Miss Nancy? Miss Nancy is flipping out. I said, my goodness, poor Miss Nancy. When's she going to get well, y'all? What are we going to do about Miss Nancy? When is she going to get well? So Richard got a time on his hand with that. But then Richard, as he's talking with the doctors, they tell him, we want to get her to stay a little bit. Richards was like, I have to go visit the morgue. And the doctor told him, oh, yeah, it's down on whatever floor in this hospital. You could go down there to visit so he can identify this body that's supposed to be Barry's. Did I say Bobby earlier? Barry's. It's supposed to be Barry's body. And, Nancy's saying that Barry's dead. And then, but one minute she was like, she wanted to give a chicken to Barry to take his mind off his daughter. But she's like, but he's dead. So poor thing. So then when they get down there, I noticed it last week, but I didn't, the security guard in the hospital, that is Ken L., a.k.a. Ken Lawson, from the Parkers. Remember, he was on the Parkers. I forgot his character's name on the Parkers. I think it was Q or something like that. He was on, I was like, oh, look at him. So he had a very, this role playing the security guard. And he's talking to Richard, and he lets Richard in on the, to view the body. And they say this foolishness about, there was no, there don't seem to be any foul play. We think he was on drugs. But then when they show this body, even though they don't give us a close-up of the face, the body's all bruised up and bloody. What the hell you mean? What the hell do you mean no foul play? That body screamed foul play. It was all blood all over the place. What drugs do all that? I was just saying he did it to himself. I was like, that was crazy. But then he never, he looks, but they never, and then they go, is that him? Can you identify? He never really says that it's Barry. He never really says that it's Barry. But, it kind of looked like him, but they don't really show the face. So I don't know. Could be, could not be. Then we have Victoria calling Eli, telling him she want him to come upstairs, this, that, and the third. And I'm like, oh my God. Oh, wait a minute. Before we get into that, I got to talk about Rackadoochie, the Rackadoochie, Rockadoochies, and Crazy Jason. What was all of that about? He's eating, and Jason still got all the bruises on his face. That dude that looks kind of like him act like he was liking him. touching on his hand and smiling, and you like your food. I was like, what is this? Like he was trying to butter him up, like, the way to a man's heart is food. That's how my girl got me. She fed me, you know what I'm saying? So now, here we go. He feeding, eat up. I was like, what is this about? Oh, you ain't gonna see the highest tonight. And Crazy Jason is like, listen, I need to leave. I just need a phone. And he's like, no, because Jason told him his name is Mike, and the guy's name is River. One of y'all told me his name was River. River's like, no, you can't leave. You can leave in the morning, silly. I was like, oh, you're never getting out of there, Jason. And you have to meet. And they were talking about the government and how the government is worthless and this, that, and the third. But eat up. You'll like this food is delicious. There's probably some damn poison in the food. But Jason is crazy enough anyway. But was I the only one feeling like River was like really flirting? I thought he was flirting. I really did. I was like, wow. So back to Victoria and Eli, because I covered that. She's telling Eli, come upstairs. I'm like, how tacky. Eli's like, well, I'm the president. Won't you come down? I don't think it's tacky. She said, no, come on up here. Then he says something about having Max and Kyle down there and somebody taking the fall. Y'all tell me in the comments what he said, what he mentioned about that. I think like if something happens to Hunter, they could take the fall for it. I'm like, okay, whatever. That was interesting. So then we get to Priscilla and Sam at the house. Sam coming there, he's the big man. She's like, oh, so you really think you somebody, huh? And he's like, listen, I told you I was sorry. I'm coming to sleep in my house, and in my bed, he's feeling himself. And he's saying he's telling her she disrespected him for messing with a hoe or whatever. And she's like, but you slept with the first lady in the White House she was totally right, at a place where I work, where they both work, but she's like, at a place where I work, and you talking about respect, and it was a mistake, but now you mad with me, you can't take it now, huh? She said, you gonna shoot every man that I mess with? And he was like, yeah. So she said, really? And he said, he was talking tough, and you know what, just shut up with all this nonsense, I'm going to my bed, and that's that. She said, oh, are you really? Now, y'all, I'm tired of this storyline. I really am. Can we give them something else to do? This storyline is run its course for me. It was irritating. But I will say I did laugh when I said, why is she sitting back there like the Priscilla's just like, okay, whatever you say. Next thing you know, all these dudes just come out of nowhere and they beat Sam down. They beat him down. And that's where the episode ended. So it was an interesting episode tonight. It ended right there. There's so much more going on. We're going to see what's going to happen. It looks like next week, Hunter wakes up from his crack stupor. So we'll check that out next week to see what's going on with that. But I thought this episode was interesting. It had some moments in it. And is that really Barry? Because they keep, every time they show, even when they show the previews and we see Richard look in at the body and he says, well, is that him? They ask him to identify. He never says yes. He just and never says yes, but because they don't zoom in on the body. So I'm hoping that it's not Barry. I hope it's not Barry. And I really hope. But is it? We never know. Is it really Barry, that body? Who knows? But that's all I have for now. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you in the next video.